Hi, this is Mar Mikel. I'm a Wikipedia researcher working on the Wikipedia Cultural Diversity Observatory, a project which fights for knowledge equity and pushes to represent better the whole cultural diversity within the Wikipedia projects. In this short video, I will present the cultural context content datasets. So Wikipedia is amazing in many ways, but it does not reflect enough the cultural diversity. Some voices either in Africa, Asia or elsewhere are missing or underrepresented. How can we increase this cultural diversity? Well, unlike with the gender gap that we can simply create two women for every man created and get to a similar proportion, with the culture gap, it's a bit more difficult. We need to understand how each culture is represented in Wikipedia. And in order to do this, we need to collect the articles that relate to the cultural context content for each Wikipedia. That is a collection of articles that they relate to the editor's cultural context content, including traditions, language, politics, agriculture, biographies, places, events, etc. We need to associate each language to the territories where it is spoken, officially or when they are native, and then collect the articles that relate to each territory. For instance, in Icelandic CCC, we get the articles that are concepts about only Iceland. But instead, in the Italian CCC, we get articles that relate to territories such as Italy, San Marino, Vaticano, Canton Ticino, Istria, among others. For instance, in CCC, English CCC, we may get articles about Times Square, which is a geolocated article, English literature, which is a very generalist article, or Banbury cake, which is a very local article. Sometimes articles from CCC are called local content, and overall, this kind of content is like a local encyclopedia because it includes very different topics and kinds of articles. So why is CCC group of articles important? Because it allows us to answer very important questions like how self-centered Wikipedia is, that is the extent of CCC articles that are dedicated to the extent of CCC articles and the number of articles that they are. Also, to understand whether these articles, they are notable or they also respond to readers' demand for information. And the most important and the aim of the project, how well each Wikipedia covers the existing cultural diversity, that is the culture gaps. And we can do this as a general overview, or we can do this on a monthly basis to understand whether we are bridging the gaps or we are continuously focusing on our own context. And finally, having this data set, we can also answer the question which are the most important topics and articles that they should be translated as a priority. In conclusion, with CCC, we can visualize relevant gaps and challenge editors to bridge them. So how do we tempt CCC for each language? We need to first map the territories to the language. That is to create a database with the territory name, the ISO code, the name in a native language, and in English. Having this database for all the different Wikipedia language editions, we can start collecting articles. And we use the Wikipedia MySQL replicas and Wikidata JSON dump. Using these sources of data, we collect articles with different strategies. Some strategies are reliable because they provide articles that we can consider them 100% sure that they should belong to the CCC dataset. And some other strategies, they just provide potential CCC articles. For instance, among the reliable, we find those having the keyword on the title, like English literature, or geolocation in one of the territories of the CCC, like Times Square. And among the non-reliable, we find those articles collected using the category graph. So for instance, using the English keyword, we can get some categories like performing arts in England, and then crawl down the different levels in the category graph and collect more and more articles related to the same semantic field. But sometimes there are interference, so we cannot consider them totally reliable. We can also complement these strategies by using Wikidata properties, and again, some of them are reliable, like location, country, and language, and some of them they are not reliable, like affiliation or haspart. And finally, using the links and the percentage of links and incoming and outgoing to the different CCC and non-CCC already retrieved articles is also a way to see if an article is really about this kind of content or not. After collecting all the different articles and tagging them with the strategies, we can provide them to a classifying machine learning method like random forest, train it with the ground truth, and finally test to obtain the final CCC dataset. The results are actually quite satisfactory. We obtain a 5% of false positive, which means articles that they are in the CCC dataset but they should not be there, and 5% of false negative, which is exactly the opposite. So when are these CCC datasets created? They are created on a monthly basis on a server in ToolForge, and the code is actually in GitHub for everyone to consult and even to contribute to. Where do we can find the results? You can go straight to the datasets in a Figshare or even in the projects page, the wcdomflabs.org/datasets. Or you can go to the main project page in a Meta portal where every methodology is explained and even the results are all there inside the same page, or with links to the outside page with plotly visualizations. There are some useful tables with articles that they deserve being translated and some more types of visualizations. So thank you very much. If you want to get involved, you can be a contributor, a programmer, or a systems engineer. We welcome everyone because fighting for cultural diversity is important. Thank you very much.